A son of a gun and sharing a forward line with the great Buddy Franklin, Nick Blakey has certainly begun his AFL career in the spotlight. We sent Kath Loughnan to go and chat with him and find out what makes him tick.
Nick, thanks for coming on the show. What a debut season you're having. How would you describe it so far?
It's been pretty surreal. It's been my dream ever since I was a young kid to be playing AFL football, and to now be playing alongside a fair few of the boys that I've looked up to is pretty cool.
I'll start with the hard-hitting questions. Your nickname's Lizard. Why?
Well, the way I run, the boys reckon I slither along the ground, so I got that one of the first days I was at the club, so it's stuck, that's for sure.
Who came up with it?
I don't know. We were trying to figure out who came up with it the other day, and we couldn't remember, but all the boys love it, that's for sure.
Now, true or false, you wait until you run out onto the footy field to tie up your laces?
Yeah, that's true. Like the first warm-up, I run out there and chuck my boots on at my locker and then just run out and tie my laces up out there. I don't know why I do it.
Where's this habit come from?
I don't know. I just do it out on the ground because it's softer on my knees when I bend down.
What's your earliest footy memory?
Running around in the change rooms. I suppose Dad's been a coach at the Swans for 12 years now, and I still remember running around the change rooms and boys like Goodsy were playing and asking all those boys for signatures with mates from school and all that, so thinking I was pretty cool knowing those boys. But those are probably some of the memories I remember.
What was it like when you got drafted to the Swans?
It was just a dream come true. Obviously, I grew up going for the Swans and I suppose grew up around the club, so to be drafted to the Swans and then to debut in Swans colours was something really special.
Here is the first gamer, Nick Blakey, out the back. Can he straighten up and kick a goal on debut? Yes, he can.
And of course, it's where your dad works as well. How would you describe your relationship?
Me and Dad are really close. Nothing too much has changed ever since I got to the club, and everyone always says, is it weird working with your dad? But I suppose we don't see as much has changed, and we get along really well, so that helps.
Luke Parker says that you go home and have private video review sessions. Any truth to that?
Definitely not true, definitely not true. All the boys rip on me for it, they reckon we do. Growing up, instead of watching cartoons, they reckon I watch behind the goal vision of football, so nah, it's all very funny. Dad's not a line coach, so I've obviously got Stevie Joe, who's my forwards coach, and then Jeremy Laidler and Lloydie Paris, who are the development coaches, so Dad's pretty hands-off with me, and if I have any questions, I can just ask Dad because it's so easy, but I definitely speak to the other coaches a whole lot more.
The cameras always go on him when you've done something impressive on the field during a game, and he never shows any emotion. What do you have to do to get a smile out of him?
Everyone always asks that, and I suppose he's looking at everyone, not just me, so yeah, I can't really blame him for that.
How would you sum up your dad's football career?
Pretty impressive. Obviously playing 350 games and winning 2 flags, playing in 3 grand finals is something pretty cool, and definitely something someone that I've looked up to ever since I was a young kid.
Does he remind you of his stats? You say, boy, you've got another 350 games to go before you can top me.
Well, sometimes the classics come on Fox Footy and I'm watching it and I'm sitting upstairs, and if he does something bad, I yell out to him, going, geez, that wasn't too good, but then he lets me know I've still got a long way to go to catch him.
Be honest, would you say you're the more talented footballer?
Oh, that's a tough one. The game's changed a bit now since when he was playing. Hopefully I can have a long career like him, but I don't know if I'm more talented. David
King thinks you have more highlights after 13 games than your dad did after 359. Fair comment?
That's good from me, but Dad won't be too happy if I say yeah.
Linked up with Blakey that time. He's on the charge. It's all clear ahead. 3 bounces for Nick Blakey. Is he going to go for it? No, he brings it back. Pulled the kick for Hayward, but that's your goal, Nick Blakey.
Let's say you got offered a head coaching job somewhere, say in Victoria. Would you stay in Sydney or would you want to follow him?
I love the Swans and grew up going for the Swans, so yeah, I can't see myself leaving the Swans, that's for sure.
So you'd be willing to move out, do your own laundry, cook your own meals?
I know, I'll still live at home, so that might be tough. My dad can maybe just move to Melbourne and Mum can stay in Sydney, so...
I'm sure you'll be fine with that.
Yeah, so I don't know how that would go down.
What's Buddy Franklin like?
Well, he's obviously a superstar on the field and he's just a great person off the field. He's taught me so much already and he really loves all the young boys that we have at the club, so he's been massive.
Was he one of your heroes growing up?
Yeah, he was my favourite player. As a kid, watching the stuff he did at Hawthorn and not really liking him when he was at Hawthorn because he was so good, but then as soon as he moved to the Swans, just fell in love with him, and yeah, he's a superstar on the field and getting to know him has been very good.
Do you remember when you met him?
I would have been about 10 or 11, I think, and in awe of him, thinking, you know, He's played so much footy and had so many highlights, thinking, geez, well, he plays for my favourite team now, which is pretty cool.
And then what about when you arrived at the Swans though and he's your teammate?
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. Definitely something I've always wanted to play with Bud, and I suppose round one debuting and Bud being in the forward line with me and just putting me in the right spots and makes it so much easier. He tells you where to go and then just lets you play footy.
Do you feel a bit of extra pressure though feeding the ball to Bud?
Well, you can kick it anywhere in the forward 50 and Bud will make it look good, so there's not too much pressure when you kick it to him because he's a superstar.
Do you think he rates you as a player?
I don't know, hopefully. We've played 12 games of football together now, so hopefully he thinks I'm okay, but yeah, he's obviously a superstar.
How do you rate your chances of winning this year's Rising Star?
Oh, pretty slim. There's a fair few boys that have had cracking years, like Sam Walsh, Sydney Stack, Connor Rosie. So there's been a fair few boys from my draft class playing good senior football this year, which is always good to see.
If you had to pick a winner right now, who would you choose?
I'd definitely go Sam Walsh. He was so good at under-18s level and that form's just gone straight into the AFL, and he's such a good bloke and I know him pretty well and we're really good friends, so I can see why everyone loves him.